Here in America, we know what it's like to have property rights, credit, and a legal identity. The Peruvian people don't know what this is like, to have a title for the land you live on, to have credit, and to have a legal identity or documents proving your identity. In Hernando de Soto's movie The Power of the Poor, it is evident that not having these rights was especially hard on the business people in Peru, as they could not make contracts, sell shares, or even guarantee the ownership of business assets without property rights. Attempting to get these rights is called a paper wall because of the amount of paperwork and steps it took to get a title to land and start a business. It took 289 days to get a permit to simply start a business, and it could take 6 years and 207 steps to get the title to the land for business use. The law worked for those who were well connected, so they could get through the business process and get a legal identity and necessary documentation a lot quicker, whereas the poor didn't have this opportunity. Now, just because the people of Peru were poor didn't have connections didn't mean they didn't know how their way around this paper wall and all that time and those steps. The businessmen and women have created what's known as the extra-legal business system, which is a system that is considered to be illegal but has the support of the people, and 98% of the businesses in Peru were in this extra-legal system. Because this system is illegal, the business people lack documents and legal rights and thus couldn't prove the land is theirs even though they use it. The police didn't protect the land. In case of a natural disaster, people lost everything and couldn't will things to their children either. Now, there were two crucial organizations that wanted to bring about change in Peru for the poor and extra-legal business people. The first was a radical group known as the Shining Path that promised the people of Peru a vision of equality and said that it would protect the property of the poor. The support of this group grew, and after a while they controlled much of the Peruvian land and were set on tearing down the oppressive system that was in place. The Shining Path was an extremist group that wanted to and attempted to accomplish its goals with violence and bombings. The other crucial organization was the one that succeeded in getting the people property rights and easier processes to have legal businesses, and was called the Institute of Liberty and Democracy, or the ILD. This organization was created by Hernando de Soto in the hopes of reforming the system from the inside instead of destroying the country with bombings and getting what they wanted with scare tactics and tearing down the system. De Soto knew it would be better to show the people that being legal had more advantages than disadvantages. The ideas and implementation of them by De Soto in Peru arose from him growing up in Switzerland and learning about Eugene Huber, who based laws on the common people and social norms, and that laws could be understood by simple people. Ultimately, how the ILD succeeded in getting property rights and easier business establishment laws was to learn how to draft laws and get laws passed, which was a long process that was met with opposition from the elite legal business people. Along with this, the ILD got the government on board with these changes by explaining that the Shining Path would have no reason for existence unless there would be less violence and bombings if the changes were implemented. The new president, Alberto Fujimori, was considered to be elected by the poor because of the promise of change. Then the elites gave way due to the new president, but also mainly because of the appeal of having more customers and of the economy growing, which would benefit them, the newly legal business people, and everyone else in Peru. It was in 1992 that the ILD passed laws that gave the common Peruvians property rights, credit, business creations taking 45 days instead of 6 years, and decreasing business permit costs by 95%. With property rights now available, people could, again, get credit, but could also leave property as inheritance to others, can get mortgages and buy homes and business property, were able to educate their children and better their economic position. In closing, everyone is looking for something, whether it be a home for their families, a better job, more money, or simply property rights. Most of people's wants can be acquired. As Hernando de Soto states at the end of The Power of the Poor movie, ideas are as important as concrete and steel, and in the end triumph over bullets and bombs.
Created using Powtoon.